function. We have already go to the third subtopic of the chapter 2, okay? So for this subtopic, the first thing we will go into is the effect of changes of coefficient A, B, and C towards the shape and position of the graph, okay? So the quadratic function will be look like this, fx equals to ax squared plus bx plus c, okay? When the coefficient A is greater than 0, the value of A increase, the graph will become narrower. When the value of A decrease, the graph will become wider. In another case, when coefficient A is smaller than 0, when the A increase, the graph will be wider. If the A decrease, the graph will be narrower. Now let us go to see what is the effect of changes of coefficient B toward the shape and position of the graph. When A is greater than 0, when B increase, the whole graph will move to the left. When the A is greater than 0, when the B decrease, the whole graph will move to the right. In another case, when coefficient A is smaller than 0, when B increase, the whole graph will move to the right. And when B decrease, the whole graph will move to the left. The last part is when coefficient C got some changes. If C is increased, the whole graph will be moving up. If C is decreased, the whole graph will be moving down. Let's see one example. Example 1, the diagram shows the graph for fx equals to x squared minus x minus 12. Sketch the graph of fx formed when the following values change. Okay, let us figure out what is the coefficient A, B, and C first. The coefficient A is equals to 1. The coefficient B is equals to minus 1. The coefficient C is equals to negative 12. Okay, let's see the first part. Part A. The value A changes to 2. Okay, so part A, the first part, the original value of coefficient A is 1. When it changes to 2, that means A increase. A increase. When A is increased, the graph will be narrower. That means this is the original graph. The new graph will be look like this, which is narrower. Okay? Then we go to the second part. The original A is equals to 1 and it changed to half. That means A decrease. A decreases. Okay? When A decreases, the graph will become wider. That means the graph will be look like this. Okay? So we go to the part B. The value B changes to 2. That means from negative 1 to 2, that means B is increases. B increases. When B increases, that means the whole graph will be moving to the left hand side. Then for the second part, the value of B becomes negative 2. That means it's decreased. So B decrease. The value of B decrease. When the value of B decrease, the whole graph will be moving to the right hand side. It will be look like this. Okay, so we go to the part C. The original value of C is negative 12. For the part 1, it becomes to negative 2. That means C is increases. When C increases, that means the whole graph moving up. It will be look like this. And I know the y-intercept is equals to negative 2. We go to the second part. The value of C changes from negative 12 to negative 15. That means decrease. C decrease. Then the whole graph will be moving downward. It will be look like this. And I know the y-intercept is negative 15. Now I will introduce the different form of quadratic function. The first is the vertex form. The second one is general form. The third one is intercept form. Okay? So we can change it from these three forms. We can change the vertex form to the general form and from the general form to the intercept form. Okay? Let me show you an example. This is 2x minus 2 squared minus 18, which is in a vertex form. Okay? Now, how can we change to the general form? That means we have to do expansion. Okay, now I will expand this vertex form to a general form. Fx equals to 2x minus 2. I will expand it become x squared minus 4x plus 4 minus 18. Then I will multiply inside become 2x squared minus 8x plus 8 minus 18. And I can get my final answer is 2x squared minus 8x minus 10. Okay, this is my general form. If I want to change to intercept form, then I have to factorize it, which is I will make sure the coefficient of a is equals to 1. So I will divide the whole equation with 2. Then I will get x squared minus 4x minus 5. Okay? Then I will factorize the x squared minus 4x minus 5. And I will get x plus 1, x minus 5. This is my intercept form. Okay? So in case if I want to change my intercept form to general form, what should I do? I will do expansion. Okay, I will show you how I do the expansion. Okay, either you times the 2 inside first or you expand the linear expression. Okay, so I will choose to times the 2 inside. Fx equals to 2x plus 2 then times x minus 5. Then I will get my answer as 2x squared minus 10x plus 2x minus 10. Then my final answer will be the same as here. Okay, so the last part is share with you how can I change the general form to the vertex form by using the completing the square. Okay, so now I want to find the vertex form from this general form. Okay, so the fx is equals to 2x squared minus 8x minus 10. The first step, I want to make sure my coefficient a is equals to 1. So I will divide the whole equation with 2. So I will take the 2 out. That means 2 times x squared minus 4x minus 5. Okay, then the second step, I will plus b over 2a squared minus coefficient b over 2a squared in this quadratic function. Okay, so I will get my quadratic function as 2x squared minus 4x plus coefficient b is minus 4 over 2a is equals to 1 square minus 4 2 square minus 5. Okay, then I will simplify it become x minus 2 square and then minus 4 over 2 I will get minus 2 and then square I will get 4 minus 5. Then I will get my final answer is 2x minus 2 square minus 9. Then I can times the 2 inside. I will get my final answer is 2x minus 2 square minus 18. So this is the whole circle of changing the quadratic function form, okay? From the vertex form to the general form and from the general form to the intercept form. And you can change the intercept form by doing expansion to general form. And the last part is using the completing the square, changing the general form to the vertex form. These are 3 different forms of quadratic function, which is vertex form, general form, and intercept form. What information that we can get from these 3 different forms of quadratic function? Okay, let's see the vertex form. I can directly get my minimum or maximum point from the vertex form, which is hk. And for the general form, I have to find minus b over 2a. And the x value that I find here is my minimum point. For the general form, to find the minimum or maximum point, I have to find the minus b over 2a. After I get my minus b over 2a, then I will substitute the x value. This is the x value that I find to the quadratic function. Then I will find my y value. Okay. For the intercept form, I also can find my minimum or maximum point by using p plus q over 2. Okay. This is the x value. Then I will substitute the x value that I find into the quadratic function. Then I can find my y value. This is the way I find my minimum or maximum point by using these 3 different forms. Okay. For the axis of symmetry, very easy. That will be the x value, which is equals to k. And here is minus b over 2a. And here for the intercept form will be p plus q over 2. Okay. So these are the 2 information you can get from the different form of quadratic function. Let's see what is the effect of changes of a, b, c on the shape and the position of the graph for the vertex form of the quadratic function. Okay, when the coefficient of a is greater than 0, when a increase, the graph will be narrower. If a is decreased, the graph will be wider. If the coefficient of a is smaller than 0, when the value of a increase, the graph will be wider. When the value of a decrease, the graph will be narrower. Let's see the effect of changes of h. When h is increased, the whole graph will move to the right. If the h decrease, the whole graph will move to the left. Okay? When k increase, the whole graph will move outward. When k decrease, the whole graph will move downward. Okay, I will show you this by using an example. Example 2, the diagram shows the graph of fx equals to minus 2x minus 3 squared plus 4. Okay, for the part A, determine the coordinate of maximum point and the equation of the axis of symmetry. Okay, from here, I can know that it's in a vertex form. I can directly determine my maximum point by using the vertex form, which is 3, 4. Okay, you also can determine your maximum point by using the graph that is given, which is 3, 4. Okay, now I have to determine the axis of symmetry, which will be very easy. The equation of symmetry is x equals to 3, which is here. Then we go to the part B. Make generalization on the graph and position of the graph when the following value change. Hence, sketch the graphs. When A changes to minus 10. Okay, let's see the original A is what? The original A value is negative 2. And they want us to change to negative 10. That means A decreases. When A decreases, that means my graph will be narrower. This is my new graph, okay? And the maximum point still the same, which is 3, 4. Okay, so for the second part, when h change to 5, let's see what is my h value. My h value, the original h value is equals to 3. And now my h change to 5. That means h increases. When h increase, that means the whole graph moves to the right hand side. It will be look like this. Then we go to the third part. The original k is equals to 4. The question wants us to change to negative 2. That means k is decreases. This is the original maximum point, which is 3, 4. When k decreases, become negative 2. That means my y value become negative 2. So this will be my new graph. Okay, we go to the next part, which is sketching the graph of quadratic function. Okay, there are a few steps when you sketch the graph. The first step, you have to determine whether your a is greater than 0 or smaller than 0. When your coefficient a is greater than 0, that means your graph will be a smiling face. When your a is smaller than 0, then that means your graph is a sad face, okay, which is a maximum graph. This is a minimum graph, okay. The second step, you have to determine the type of roots. That means you have to find the value of b squared minus 4ac. If your b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, that means your graph intersects the x-axis at 2 points. If your b squared minus 4ac is equals to 0, that means your graph intersects the x-axis at 1 point. If your b squared minus 4ac is smaller than 0, that means your graph doesn't intersect x-axis, okay? For the third step, you have to do completing the square to find the minimum or maximum point. And the fourth step, you have to find your x-intercept. And the last will be to find your y-intercept. I will show you by using this example, okay? The first step, we will determine whether my a is positive or negative. My value of a is equals to 1. That means greater than 0. I know that my graph will be a minimum graph, which is a smiling face. Okay. Step 2. I have to determine my b squared minus 4ac. Okay. The types of roots. b squared minus 4ac is equals to my b is 7 minus 4ac. Then I will get my answer is 25, which is greater than 0. That means my graph will be intersect the x-axis with 2 points. Now I will go to the third step to find the maximum or minimum point by using completing the square. Okay, fx equals to x squared plus 7x plus 6 equals to x squared plus 7x plus b over 2a. That means 7 over 2 times 1 square minus 7 over 2 square plus 6. Then I can write it as x plus 7 over 2 square minus 49 over 2 plus 6. So it will be x plus 7 over 2 square minus 25 over 4. After doing this step, I have to find my x-intercept. You can find your x-intercept by using factorization. So x squared plus 7x plus 6 is equals to, by using factorization, you will get x plus 1 and x plus 6. Then you know that x plus 1 is equals to 0, x plus 6 is equals to 0. So my x is equals to negative 1. X is equals to negative 6. Okay, here we go to the last step, which is y-intercept. We find the y-intercept by using x is equals to 0. That means my fx is equals to 0 squared plus 7 times 0 plus 6, which is equals to 6. Finally, we can sketch our graph, which is, this is the x-intercept, which is minus 1, minus 6. And this is the y-intercept, which is equals to 6. And I know that my graph is a smiling face and it will cut the x-axis at 2 points. That means my graph will be look like this. And you have to label the x-axis and y-axis. And don't forget to give the name for the graph. Fx is equals to x squared plus 7x plus 6. Example 4. Sketch the graph fx equals to 9 minus x minus 2 squared. So we can know that this is in a vertex form. I can rearrange it become minus x minus 2 squared plus 9. So from here, the first step we know that we have to determine whether the a is greater than 0 or smaller than 0. My a here is equals to negative 1. That means smaller than 0. My graph will be a maximum graph, which is a step phase. Okay, then we go to the step 2. Step 2 is to determine the b squared minus 4ac whether it's smaller than 0, greater than 0, or equals to 0. So I have to expand my fx. Fx equals to minus x squared minus 4x plus 4 plus 9. So I will get minus x squared plus 4x minus 4 plus 9. Then I will get my final answer is minus x squared plus 4x plus 5. Now I can determine my b squared minus 4ac. b squared minus 4ac is equals to 4 squared minus 4 times minus 1 times 5. I will get my answer is 36, which is greater than 0. That means until the step 2, I know that my graph will be look like this. Okay, now I go to the step 3. Step 3 is doing the completing the square to find my minimum or maximum point. Okay, since this is in a vertex form, I can directly determine my minimum or maximum point from this form. So this is a maximum graph, so my maximum point is equals to 2, 9. So until here, I know that this will be my maximum point, which is 2, 9. Okay, now we go to the fourth step. Okay, so I will let my fx is equals to 0 to find my x-intercept. Okay, so I will get minus x squared plus 4x plus 5 is equals to 0. Then I will factorize it. I will get minus x minus 1, x minus 5 is equals to 0. Then I will get my x is equals to minus 1, x is equals to 5. Until here, I know my x will intercept the x-axis at x equals to minus 1 and x equals to 5. Okay, so the last step will be step 5. Okay, step 5, I will let my x equals to 0 to find my fx value. Okay, after I substitute the x equals to 0 into the equation, I will get my fx equals to 5. Okay, so now I can sketch my graph. Please remember to draw your graph using ruler. Okay, so this is minus 1, this is 5. When x equals to 0, fx equals to 5. And my maximum point will be at here, which is 2, 9. Okay, here is the 2 and here is the 9. And do remember to label your x-axis and y-axis and give the name to the graph. Fx equals to 9 minus x minus 2 squared. Now we go to the last part, which is solving problems of quadratic function. Example 5, the function ht is equals to minus 4t squared plus 32t, as shown in the diagram on the right, represents the height in meters of a firework t seconds after it was launched. The fireworks explode at the highest point. When did the firework explode? Okay, the equation that is given is in a general form. Now I will change it become a vertex form. So ht is equals to minus 4t squared plus 32t. The first step of changing to the vertex form is taking out the coefficient a. So it will become t squared minus 8t. So it is equals to minus 4t squared minus 8t plus b over 2a. b is negative 8 over 2a. a is 1 square minus 8 over 2 square, and I don't have the c, so I will stop here. So it will be equals to negative 4t, negative 8 over 2 is negative 4. So t minus 4 square minus 16. So I will times the negative 4 inside, become negative 4t minus 4 square plus 64. So from the vertex form of quadratic equation, I know that the firework explode at t equals to 4, which is the maximum point. Okay, from the vertex form of the quadratic equation, I know that the maximum point is equals to 4 and 64, which I know that the 4 is the t and the 64 is referred to the height. So for the first part, I know the firework will explode at t is equals to 4 seconds. And for the second part, I know the height at which the firework explode, which is equals to 64 meters. I have finished the whole chapter 2. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. And do remember, like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. Bye!